Support for 100 Watts and a Wire is brought to you by 100wattsandawire.com. To subscribe to the show, simply click the RSS feed. While you're there, apply for your free 100 Watts ID and learn how you can help make 100 Watts and a Wire listener supported. Click the donate page and pick the option that works best for you. We've got a traveling toolkit, 100 Watts and a Wire gear, and more. That's 100wattsandawire.com. And EmComm. Spring is in the air. Check out EmComm's line of D-Star radios. EmComm offers a variety of high-performance and innovative products. Stay connected around the world with EmComm's D-Star radios. And Alpha Antenna. Alpha Antenna manufactures directional tuner-free HF antennas. For highly rated, customer-enhanced antennas, visit alphaantenna.com or call 1-888-482-3249.
And now, from Grid Square Echo Mike 48, this is 100 Watts and a Wire.
Yes, sir. It's Christian. Kilo Zero Sierra Tango Hotel. Kilo Zero, sweeter than honey. It is one of the most important weeks of the summertime. We are gearing up. We are getting ready, and excitement abounds. Why, you say? Well, naturally, because the Dave Matthews Band kicks off their summer tour this week. That is very exciting. In a non-related story, it is Dayton Hamvention time. We are going to Xenia, Ohio. A-O, way to go, Ohio. I don't know. Look, I'm starting to finally feel better. The right nostril still has something going on. You could hear a big sniff here just to clear it. Let me just do it. Okay? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, laid up in bed, didn't even know what was happening. I believe it was allergy related. But let's get back to the Dave Matthews Band. I do have a little bone to pick with the company that does the scheduling because they're not coming to St. Louis. Boo. A boo for you on that one. What do you mean you're not coming to St. Louis? Alas. Maybe Chicago, maybe Indy, I don't know. However, it is the week of. In just a couple of days, we'll be loading up the truck with lots of socks. Keep your feet dry. It's going to be muddy out there in Xenia, Ohio. The weather forecast a couple of days ago, the 10-day forecast, if you can believe any of that nonsense, rain, storms all week long. We'll take a closer look, as we start to drive out of Missouri on Thursday. A lot of people already on their way. This is recorded on Tuesday, the 15th of May. And a lot of the vendors start to hit the road. It's really exciting. And if you get there on Wednesday, of course, you have Contest University. If you're interested in contesting or just learning how to be a better operator, that's a full day of learning that you could check out on Wednesday. Thursday sort of is the load-in day. So a lot of things are happening mid-week before they open things up on Friday. I'm going to be heading down on Thursday. I've got some work to do. And as I mentioned before, I'd been feeling pretty bad. I left work on Friday morning, came and worked for an hour, left. Couldn't even do it. Took a nap at 9 a.m., woke up, went back to bed at 11 a.m., and then again at 2 p.m. It was just down. And the symptoms had to be, pretty much exhaustion. I felt exhausted. But I'm thinking it's allergy related. I mean, I told you last week I went to Marietta, Ohio for a graduation, came back, the grass was 18 inches high, and I just think everything popped. The peonies have popped finally. They used to come right around my daughter's birthday. They've pushed back now. They come a little bit later. But I hear on the East Coast they come this week as well. They're so beautiful. And I hate when it rains on them because they're so delicate. and it rains, and then they just turn to kind of mush. You get those peonies for about a week to 10 days, if you're lucky. Get to cutting. And then after 10 years, here's the gardening show, after 10 years, you can separate the roots. You can move them, spread them out. Longer row if you like, put them somewhere else. Maybe every 10 years. Look it up. But yes, very excited. We're going to be heading down to Xenia, Ohio, my first time in the new spot at the campgrounds. And I did pass it on my way to Marietta, at least the road that I would get off to go to it. 30,000 hams are embarking on this. And if you haven't gone, I believe it's worth the effort. It's worth the trip. And if for nothing else, to see some of the people that you talk to on the radio, to make, eye-to-eye physical contact. We need that as well. The radio is cool. We can sit back and talk all day and rag chew and really get to know someone, but it is cool to meet them face-to-face. And I plan to do that with some of the team at Amateur Radio Newsline. Not all of the team, mind you. Some I will be hiding from. Just kidding. Good people, and you hear their great work each week. And it'll be fun to be in the same room with them for about 5 minutes, and then I gotta go. But that's just because a couple of them are highly annoying people. Just kidding, they're all great, have beautiful children and lovely wives and husbands. I don't know where it comes from. Guys, I don't know. I told you I'm feeling slightly better. I don't sound that great, but I feel better then. My favorite part of Xenia, or Dayton Hamvention, because that is indeed the trademark name, the Dayton Hamvention, which actually was not held in Dayton, apparently. I don't know where the Hara Arena was technically located, topographically or geographically in Ohio. But anywho, my favorite part of going to Dayton was the flea market, and I've mentioned that before. You could find that once-in-a-lifetime thing, or just something that catches your eye that could be a cool piece to have at your house or in your shack. I mean, they sell all kinds of crap. Some things you don't need. You know you don't need that blinking sign. You don't need that. Maybe you do, but if you do need that, there you go. Coax Connect. I mean, you name it, it's all out there. But walking around, you never know what you're going to find. You could find the radio that your father used to run. Or one that is very much like that, same model, that kind of thing. Things that trigger your emotions and that carry a sentimental value with you. My father had a Hammerlin. I have it. It was submerged in a flood and is beyond repair, at least I'm told by a very great renowned repair person who works on these boat anchors. Look, this radio is worth $150 completely restored. You could not take my father's radio from me for any amount of money. You couldn't do it. It is actually, a boat anchor. I'm not throwing it over the wall or anything or over the water. It's not a doorstop, but it's sitting on my desk, and it was his. But things like that even the D104s, when I see a D104 that actually has the key on the base where you push it down, this could have been more for CB radio instead of the handle. Actually, my father's had both. He had the handle, they call it the lollipop. For some of you who maybe knew, it looked like a lollipop. Not to me, but you get the point. The D104, look that up. He used to have one you push on the base. You could push the talk on the base or squeeze the handle there on what I guess I'll call the neck. You see little things and it sparks an interest, but the flea market is where there is a ton of junk and a ton of great stuff and things. And sometimes, I have to say, when I went to Dayton for the first time, it really was overload. Hara Arena was one thing. Talking about overloading and overflooding. The toilets were all coming around. Urine on the floor. Whatever, man. But, you get 25,000 people in one space and the toilets aren't working well. What are you going to do? I hear Xenia is not anything like this. But anyway, getting back to the layout, it's just so big. It was an old hockey arena, I believe. I liked it. I liked it fine. I thought it was big enough for us. It needed some vast improvements, But anyway, I mean, you would snake around this thing, and it was so big, I would get twisted up. It was my first time, and I was kind of out there reporting. I was out there doing some work at the time for Ham Nation. I did a piece on Contest University. That night appeared on Ham Nation. It was live down at the hotel there. I don't know. They still do it. And then, there for the whole ride. But they're basically by myself. Other people would go to dinner. They'd go to these banquets, I guess you'd call them. But, if you sell this equipment, then the dealer may have this sort of dinner. And at that time, I wasn't invited to anything. I'm still not really invited to anything. Actually, I was invited to something. But it was so big that you could get lost by yourself. And looking at a radio that you might like and want to buy, it's like, should I buy this one or should I keep looking around? And it just was so large to me. Anyway, I did some work, and I did what I do, which I'd capture audio, and that's what I plan to do this time around. There's some fun things happening, and I believe it is. I have to take a look now at the schedule. There's a couple things happening. Thursday night, I want to have the net from EmComm 1. Now, I expect that I would be there in an empty parking lot with EmComm 1. I hope this is going to work out okay. And to be live from Xenia, Ohio on Thursday night with our 100 watts and a wire net. Saturday night, there's talks of going to the Voice of America, which now have extended hours. So that's cool. Voice of America on Thursday will be open from 1 to 9. On Friday, 4 to 9. Saturday, 1 to 9. And Sunday, 1 to 4. Those are extended hours at Voice of America. I've never been, and I'm thinking maybe Saturday night. Going with the Amateur Radio Newsline crew. So much to do and so much to see, and I know I'm a little bit scattered because I don't really make hardcore plans. I plan to meet up with some folks and hang out. I try and keep my schedule pretty open. I'm not there to sell anything, so I'm not a vendor. I'm not looking to sell. Looking to make some contacts, look at the great stuff, and take in the atmosphere. I'm going to take a break here. We'll come back and talk about some more stuff. There's so much to say about Dayton. I don't want to ramble on. We got to get packing. We'll come back and talk about more next.
Whether you say 73 or 73, even 73s, we're still 100 watts and a wire.
EmComm's newest D-Star handheld is ready for the season ahead. Lightweight, compact, and tough, the new ID31A Plus is a great choice for any shack or those in harsh environments. The IDA 51A Plus 2 provides extended D-Star coverage, allowing you to listen wherever you may go. Compact and user-friendly, the ID 4100A is a D-Star mobile with big rig features. Its intuitive interface, variety of operating modes, and Bluetooth compatibility make this the preferred D-Star option for those on the go. And the ID 5100A has taken innovation and mobility to the next level. With its touchscreen and internal GPS, this radio is a must-have while assessing a situation. Visit IcommAmerica.com/amateur for more information on all ICOM radios.
Back to net control with Christian, K0STH.
I just love this time of year. This is where you find out where your dead wood is in the tree. Oh, Lord, I've had some trouble in the past with hanging antennas in the wintertime. I love to do it because all the leaves fall to the ground, right? And then you can see. However, if you're like me and you've made a mistake in the past by hanging, say, an antenna on a dead limb, well, you found yourself back out there in the spring readjusting. I've done it, but I love this time of year because you can see what's dead, what's going to fall. And what you don't want to do is hang your antenna, on a dead branch. I've even hung my antenna below a huge dead branch. And I thought, oh, seriously? Really? And it was true. I was worried that, this antenna would be crushed by a large dead piece of wood. And so springtime gives us the ability to check out these trees. All my business is wire. Some of you are saying, but see, child, you have a beam. I know, I heard you say that. True. It is a hex beam made out of wire. Everything is around trees or in a tree, and there could come a day, and I think in terms of everything is just visiting. It's all temporary. Even though you think it's there and that's the perfect ideal spot, it's just visiting. The tree will fall, get hit by lightning, crash to the ground, or just become old. Something will happen, it'll split. God forbid. And I don't want this to happen. I don't want it to happen to you. But look, you're doing business out there in nature, and things do happen. Even the hex beam, if something happened with a nearby tree, a lot of work and a lot of dough gets pounded into the ground. It's kind of, the cost of doing business when you're out there in the trees. Now, I don't wish this on anyone, and I hope you get several 100 years out of that antenna. But this is a good time now to go out there and inspect to see what your tree is doing naturally to shed its wood, so to speak. That came out wrong, I guess. Look up in the damn tree and see what limbs are dying and get your antennas off of those.
When in doubt, hang 'em high. This is 100 watts and a wire.
American HF antenna products manufactured in the USA by real Americans. That's Alpha Antenna. Great antenna systems that don't hide issues behind an antenna tuner. That's Alpha Antenna. Highest EHAM reviews of any antenna manufacturer. That's Alpha Antenna. Targeted directional signal launching systems. That's Alpha Antenna. Full disclosure of all antenna analyzer data. That's Alpha Antenna. Antenna systems that are improved based on customer feedback. That's Alpha Antenna. Come to alphaantenna.com for your base, mobile, or portable militarized HF antenna systems. God bless America and Alpha Antenna.
Here's Christian, Kilo Zero Sierra Tango Hotel.
Naturally, we're all riled up about Xenia. The Dayton Hamvention is this week. Lots of audio will be coming back, but I don't want you to forget about the activity days coming up June 8th through the 10th. Visit 100wattsandawire.com. Click the Activity Days page. To learn more, we've got some prizes to give away. It's not a contest. We're setting aside 3 days in the spring to get out and get active, and it's preparation. It is a tune-up for field day. A lot of people go and do different things on field day. They have different jobs assigned to them with their club. So maybe you don't get to test your antenna that you just built. Maybe you just, you've got a new go box that you want to put on the air, and maybe field day isn't the day that you can do that. Well, the 100 watts and a wire tune-up is. The 8th, 9th, and 10th. Get on the air anytime, any band, any mode. Work anybody you can. And an exchange may be CQ, 100 watts and a wire tune-up. This is Kilo Zero Sierra Tango Hotel listening. Someone calls back. You say hello, take your time. It's not a contest. Give a true signal report. Exchange your call, maybe your state. And if you have a 100-watt ID, share that. Now, look, if you want a 100-watt ID, I would do that right now. Right now. Start to get that in because a person, a real person, Kilo India 9 Whiskey, Ian, he takes care of this. He manages the 100-watt IDs. And we have over 3,000 that have been issued. Now, you don't need this to participate, but if you want one, it makes sense to do it before the tune-up. All right? There's also a great giveaway. I talked about some of the prizes. Chameleon's going to give away an antenna. PowerFilm Solar is going to give away a solar panel. BioNO Power is going to give away a battery. Radio Waves will give away an antenna. Well, PowerFilm Solar said, look, man, I will do you one better. I said, do me one better? What's that? Is that a challenge, Seth? I will drop kick you right. And he was like, no. They're holding a giveaway on the PowerFilm Solar website. If you go to PowerFilm Solar, and you need to do a search, it's sort of a powerfilm-solar.com/100-watts-and-a-wire- giveaway. You'll find that you can enter into a contest. This is a contest. It's a random drawing where you can win a solar panel. You can win a solar panel. So if you don't win for the tune-up, they'll do a drawing on their own and give somebody else a second solar panel. Visit PowerFilm Solar, look for the 100 watts and a wire giveaway. Use hyphens when you type that in, 100 watts and a wire giveaway. Sign up, because after the tune-up, we'll give away a second. Visit 100wattsandawire.com and poke around. You'll find things there about our net, ways to become a sustaining member, which is very popular. Need it to be more popular. Need it to be more popular. Your support helps us pay for the show, to do the travel, to go where we need to go. You hear this endlessly on every podcast. Why? Because it's the truth. You know, these things aren't cheap. Most people are not getting paid. Most people are barely covering their expenses. The way I've set this thing up is that if you donate $25 to the show can develop and produce more content, which is very important. However, you get a discount for and with participating companies. All right, you can learn all about this at the website too. Chameleon Antenna, Radio Waves, BioNO Power, PowerFilm Solar, MFJ, which does a great service to people who are buying antennas, 10% or 15%, whatever they decide to give you for being a sustaining member. We just did this with Chameleon this week. Derek, I'm spacing on his call sign. He's from Missouri. He asked me, what do you think? We talked about mag loop antennas. I told him about the only one I had. It's a Chameleon 2.0 plus. Deal. Connected him with Chameleon, and he got a discount. I don't even know what it was, but he bought it right then and there because he was a sustaining member. So it's a three-way benefit, friends. The show benefits, you benefit with the discount, and over the course of a year, you know you're going to buy a lot of amateur radio supplies and gear. You benefit over time, and the companies, many of which are struggling, they get a sale. So look around 100wattsandwire.com. It's very important, and I appreciate your support, anybody who's doing that. I'm getting a lot of questions, too. Yes, we do have a YouTube page, a YouTube channel, rather. The show does not land there. It's for video extras, and I'm running ever so slightly behind on doing videos like that for you, but I think this week will pick up. There's some friends going to Xenia for the Dayton Hamvention. We'll record some content from out there, and we'll get some new stuff up there for sure. But mainly, it's for video extras. Go ahead and subscribe. We appreciate everything you do, but, you know, it's a slow growth. It's like growing carrots. Maybe 90 days, 120 days, but they're going to be delicious. What else do I need to talk to you about? I think we're pretty good. Lots of different questions I haven't gotten to. One of the big ones I'm hearing about, and I'm asked about from time to time, you know, is the future of amateur radio. I'm not the arbiter of what's going to happen here with amateur radio. I don't know. I do believe the children are our future. So, you know, treat the kids right. When you hear young people on the air, treat them right. And you usually do. You don't hear too much. The guys who QRM a child are the biggest douchebags on the planet. That's it. I mean, if you went to an industrial store, the Walmarts of the world, and you were looking for industrial-sized douchebags, those are the guys who QRM a child on amateur radio. Now, there's many sections and many layers of D-bags, A-holes, and dip-asses. They're all there. But the children, of course, are the future of amateur radio. Treat them right. Another side of this, I'm asked, what is the future? The future is in, for me, emergency communications. It is a big interest of mine, and it ties back into the tune-up. The 100 watts and a wire tune-up that we'll do June 8th through the 10th is a big part of this. Just like Field Day. Field Day becomes a great thing where you're setting up and you're socializing and you're having lunch and it's a great gathering and get together, but you're actually exercising, right? That's what we're doing with the tune-up. Tune-up comes before Field Day. We do this again in the fall with the 100 watts and a wire fallout. But take the time, if you're putting together a portable rig or an emergency go box, let's test this mother now. This is when you test it. Look around. Emergency communications is paramount to our future as amateur radio operators. It doesn't have to, you don't have to look further than, say, Puerto Rico, or the fact that Sunday there are earthquakes happening in Alaska, 3.2. Over the course of a few hours, you get Kodiak, Alaska, 3.2. Mexico, 4.5, 2.0 in Big Pine, California, 2.3 in Cobb, California, 2.4. Volcanoes in Hawaii. Bursting lava, cracks in the road. Pay attention to what's happening here. Don't get sketched out and go off the deep end, because you can really go off the deep end with your prepping. I mean, there are some communities out there that are, frankly, quite scary. But I believe in the basic understanding and somewhat beyond of survival planning and prepping. All right? It goes hand in hand with amateur radio, but I don't want you to go overboard and become an alarmist and, crazy with it, because you can. As far as amateur radio goes in the future, my belief, Christian, K0STH, in the year 2018, I feel the emergency and disaster communications is what we're heading to. We're not looking for that day, but exercising on these tune-ups and field days and fallouts. These activities are all geared for us to prepare ourselves, to test our equipment, to test our skills, to exercise ourselves and our radios. That's what I feel the future of amateur radio is. So couple in the children and the knowledge of disaster and emergency preparations and planning and prepping, all this sort of thing, coming together. Stop being so separated all the time. The world's a smaller place because of technology, but yes, we are a little bit still insulated. Might not be a bad idea to talk to your neighbor from time to time, even if it's just to say, your leaves are blowing in my yard, brah. Maybe don't start with that, but give him a rake. Oh, Lord, we've done it again. All right, I'm going to run out of here. I've still got some things to pack. I want to pack up my audio gear, a little bit of video gear. Let's get some YouTube videos together. If you're going to Xenia, Ohio, please travel safe, but you could do some recording and submit it. Send it to me. That's cool. I think it's great. I think the YouTube channel is a cool thing. I can't feed it every day or even every week. However, I think it's good, and things like this, Hamfest, are great for that. If you're building something, send the video along. I'll put it up there. I don't care. What do I care? I don't make any money off the YouTube. So a slow growth there for me is just fine. But it's opened up to the community. That's good. Yep, so we'll be taking some audio to Xenia. We'll take some photographs, and we'll let you know what's happening. Maybe even do some live streaming. I don't know. There'll be some smart people out there. Maybe can help. Travel safe if you're going. Follow 100 Watts and a Wire on social media this week, and you'll find us on Twitter at 100 Watts and a Wire. We're also on Facebook, if you do such a thing. Search for 100 Watts and a Wire podcasts from any Facebook page. You'll find us. You answer a couple simple questions like, what's your call sign, your favorite mode of operation, that sort of thing. get you in there and get you active, but you can follow up what's happening and listen on Thursday for the 100 Watts in a Wire net. This is going to be exciting for me because if all goes well, I will be transmitting from EmComm 1. EmComm 1 in Xenia, Ohio. Have you seen it? Look it up on YouTube. Gorgeous emergency communications van. Huge antennas, lots of radios. Gorgeous. And if you're in Dayton this weekend in Xenia, Ohio at the fairgrounds for the Dayton Hamvention, look for the EmComm 1 van, and that's where I'll have my base camp. I'll putt around, do my thing, come back there. Ask for me. I'll be around. Community members, look for EmComm 1. If nothing else and I'm not there, ask for me, but take a look and peek in that van and see what I'm talking about and refer back to the conversation we just had about emergency and disaster communications. Okay? Okay, great. Take care of yourselves and take care of your families, and by all means, if you can, please try and stay above the noise.
To join the 100 Watts in a Wire community, visit 100wattsandawire.com.